Hi, how you doing? Hope you're doing well tonight. Decided to do a video kind of in the studio in our house. It's not really a studio; it's more of a glorified closet, but a little bit better lighting in here. And I came home and I wanted to get on and come to you guys and talk to you about a problem actually that I had a little bit ago, and the trouble with insomnia. Now, I only had trouble for one night. I woke up at 3 in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep. How many of you have ever had trouble falling asleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep? It is, the interesting thing about insomnia is it can actually truly impact so much of your life and so much of your family's life. It can be unbelievably stressful to not get a good night's sleep. It can be really dangerous as well, because I had a patient who didn't sleep well, and she'd fall asleep while she was driving to work every day, and she would travel the same roads to work in one direction as I was traveling to take my kids to school in the other direction. But not getting a good night's sleep, it's almost as if your whole world seems to crumble, like your whole world is coming apart. And I remember this is just last week. I had a night where I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and what happened was I could not go back to sleep. I just was laying there, and my mind was racing and couldn't go back to sleep. And your mind starts thinking about, well, what if I don't get enough sleep? What's going to happen all day? Am I going to be dead tired? Am I going to be able to get my stuff done? And then your mind starts wandering into that, well, what if this happens again tomorrow night? You could tolerate it one night, but what about 2 nights? What about 3 nights? And you really start to go down this dark path with insomnia. So I don't know if any are suffering with insomnia, but I want to give you some tips on this. So some few things to consider, some things to do to help yourself potentially solve insomnia. So first thing is, if you're waking up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, the chances are pretty good that you're having a rebound from the things you ate or drank earlier than the day before. So things that are high in sugar, high alcohol, high spicy foods. I'm looking at my notes here. And of course, caffeinated things can be culprits. The other thing that could be a culprit in the middle of the night when you wake up and can't go back to sleep is your adrenal glands, how your body's dealing with stress or inflammation. We're going to talk about inflammation, pardon me, again in a minute, just regarding how inflammation affects the adrenal glands. Inflammation will drive cortisol levels in your body. Cortisol levels will change your blood sugar, and if it changes your blood sugar, it can wake you up in the middle of the night. Everybody knows that if you give a child a candy bar, he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So imagine if your body is trying to deal with inflammation or stress, you're going to get higher levels of blood sugar. If that happens to happen in the middle of the night, then you're going to have a hard time going back to sleep or even getting to sleep. A lot of people, we see people all the time, they say, you know what, I'm tired. They're dead tired at 9 o'clock, but they can't go to sleep, and they're just absolutely wired. Thanks for the hearts. I can't see any comments right now just because where my camera's placed, but I appreciate you guys commenting, and I'll get to them later if you have questions, but I appreciate the little hearts and the little likes. We were talking about cortisol, and people they're tired but wired, and they just can't go to sleep. That's usually an adrenal issue, and that needs to be addressed. The source of inflammation or the sources of stress are going to need to be addressed if you're going to get to sleep and you have adrenal problems. But there are a few things that you can do. You can avoid the sugar, high sugar foods. You can avoid the alcohol before bed, high spicy foods. You can certainly avoid the caffeinated drinks later in the day and into the evening. High sugar foods or carbohydrate foods at the end of the day will change your blood sugar. It'll spike your insulin, but then it also change your cortisol levels. Pardon me. And it can really keep you from falling asleep and staying asleep. So another thing is people that are deficient in chromium, vanadium, or manganese. These are other nutrients that can help if you have that reactivity due to blood sugar in the middle of the night. You want to make sure that you're not getting your blood sugar too low at the end of the day. And you're not going to do that. You're not going to have your blood sugar being low by eating a bunch of sugar. What happens is you eat a bunch of sugar or carbohydrates at the end of the day. I know so many people say that they love a bowl of cereal at the end of the night. It's not a good way to stay asleep. What happens is that cereal is high in carbohydrates, high in sugar, spikes your blood sugar, your insulin goes up, and then your blood sugar crashes. And that blood sugar crashing creates a reactive hypoglycemia, which changes how your brain deals with stress, changes your cortisol levels, and then it's going to wake you up and make you have a hard time going back to sleep. So high protein or fat before bed will help you stay asleep better. Now, another thing is your happy hormones, okay? The hormones and chemicals that help you feel good, the main one being serotonin. Most people have heard of serotonin. Lots of psychiatrists and doctors have been trying to play around with serotonin and how to fix serotonin to no avail. Actually, they've totally screwed this up for so many people over the years. I'm not a big fan of drugs that have black box warnings on it like Prozac, but serotonin is made in your gut. It is made in your intestines, 95% of it. If you do not have a gut that is working properly, you are going to have miserable failure at trying to get to sleep. So if you have gas, bloating, you go back and forth between diarrhea and constipation. If you have gastrointestinal issues and you have insomnia, you're going to need to work on that gut in order to fix it, because the gut is where 95% of that serotonin is made, and that serotonin is made, and other things like dopamine are made in your gut to help your brain, and those are your happy chemicals that will help you sleep. So there's an amino acid, serotonin. We make serotonin in our body primarily from an amino acid called tryptophan. So tryptophan, most people have heard of tryptophan. If you remember the Jerry Seinfeld episode where he was trying to play with his girlfriend had a bunch of toys or something, and he and George were going over her house and they were playing with her toys, and they were like, "Well, just give her some turkey, help her fall asleep." Turkey's high in tryptophan, so tryptophan helps you make serotonin. Now you need other things to help you get help that tryptophan turn into serotonin. One of those things is B6. All right, so you need vitamin B6. You need zinc. You need enzymes to help that tryptophan convert into serotonin, and zinc is important for every single enzyme in your body. So you need enough zinc. You need B6. Those are two things. Sometimes just taking some B6 and some zinc can totally rectify someone's insomnia issues, and that's a super inexpensive way for you to get a good night's sleep. The problem is most doctors don't pay attention to nutrient deficiencies. They don't understand a functional medicine approach, and they're simply going to give you sleeping aids, pharmaceutical sleeping aids, which can be highly, highly, highly addictive and extremely expensive as well. I had a patient come in, they told me that their Blue Cross Blue Shield policy was paying $6,000 a month for his Rufinol. Now Rufinol, many of you have heard, is roofies, which is a date rape drug, but it is an extremely powerful sleep agent, and it is one of the things that killed Michael Jackson. So it's very, very powerful. So additionally, serotonin, if you get your serotonin in your gut right, you can improve things like daytime depression in women, like PMS can be improved, fibromyalgia, anxiety. You can help fix carbohydrate cravings. So B6 and zinc are really important in that regard. Binge eating can be helped if you have enough B6 and zinc. Now, I'm not saying throw like an entire bottle of B6 down your gullet or zinc, but supplementing your diet with these things that can be just depleted in our food supply would be helpful. So also something, I can never say this right. Hey Ryan. Kynorate acid and low tryptophan correction of B6 using B6 will help with that. So again, we're talking about zinc, B6. We want to raise our serotonin. Another thing you want to make sure you do when you're trying to get to sleep is do not watch a television or a device like a phone that has the blue lighting as a background. On my iPhone that I'm sitting here doing this video on, and on my computer, it has something called, under the displays and setting, it has something called night shift, where it takes the settings and instead of having that blue light, it turns into that more mellow yellow lighting. That yellow light, that blue lighting actually stimulates our brain to tell our adrenal glands, hey, it's time to wake up, make more cortisol, whereas the yellow lighting will suppress that a bit and it helps stimulate, or at least not suppress, melatonin, which melatonin helps us sleep as well. So you want to, if you can't shift that on your phone, or you like watching television, you can just go onto Amazon and get a pair of sort of like a yellow tinted pair of glasses. Certainly it isn't as bright. Maybe you don't want to watch the Super Bowl wearing them. But listen, if you're just sitting there watching television and you need to get to sleep, don't look at the blue lighting on your phone. So just to recap, watch the foods that you eat the day before, okay? Especially caffeinated beverages, alcohol, the carbohydrates right before bed. You really want to make sure that you're getting the right nutrition. Proteins and fats will keep your blood sugar more even throughout the evening, throughout the night. And by keeping your blood sugars more even throughout the night, you have less chance of waking up due to that blood sugar crashing due to insulin. So fat's even better at handling, at managing insulin than protein is. But proteins or fat are way better than carbohydrates and sugars. So alcohol has lots of sugars in them. A lot of people, they go, oh, if I sleep better, if I go to sleep better if I have something to drink, like a glass of wine. But then they can't stay asleep. It's because wine has sugars in it. Those sugars crash when your insulin goes up, and then they find themselves waking up. Find a way to manage your stress better without taking the things that are going to suppress and change your serotonin level unnaturally, like Prozac or any of these other SSRIs. We do not want to mess around chemically with, I'm not telling you not to take those medications. Please don't say I'm giving you medical advice here over the internet. But I think you should be careful about taking medications like that are addictive and also have black box warnings due to their side effects. Sleep aids. I've had so many patients over the years that have been addicted to sleep aids, and once you trick your brain into thinking that it requires that, it can be difficult to get off those. One way that's been an interesting study that was done that said, how do we reset the brain to help you sleep? And this is just another idea I highly recommend it. I see a friend of mine, Ryan, is watching, is go camping, all right? And just go camping. 7 days has been shown to actually reset your sleep sensors and sleep patterns in your brain. 7 days. Now, when you go camping, you're going to want to leave your devices at home. I know some of you will be like, that would be awesome. Some of you would be freaking out. But leave your devices at home. When the sun goes down, turn on, you could turn on a little light, watch the campfire for a little while, but then be out there in the dark, camping at a good dark campsite. 7 days of just awaking and going to sleep with the sun can actually really reset brain receptors. Not all of you are going to be able to take time off to do that, but some of you really, really need to, because it can make a huge difference in your life. You got to remember how bad, what about the women? I'm not sure what you mean, Olivia. Regarding women, we're just talking about things that if you help fix the gut and how your gut deals and makes serotonin, it can help a lot of both men and women, but a lot of menstrual issues and women can be helped by fixing their gut. The gut's really responsible for a lot of your hormones and estrogens in your body as well. So we need your gut to work well. You're not going to get your good sleep if your gut isn't working right, because it's so responsible for so many of the chemicals and patterns that our brain uses. So fix your gut, all right? If you've got problems with your gut, you need to correct those things. And there's lots of functional medicine ways to do that. You're not going to fix your gut with Pepto-Bismol or cutting out your... do we get a 7-day break not camping? Sure, you could get, it's not up to me to have you take a break. I'm just saying if you could go camping. Now, it's about 12 degrees outside. No, I guess about 20 degrees outside right now. I would not be camping. I would wait till springtime before I was going to go camping at this type of weather. So I hope you found this helpful. There are ways to help you improve your sleep. Remember, we talked about B6, we talked about zinc, handling your gut, changing how you view your phone or your devices at the end of the day, and even going camping. So I hope you found this helpful. Give me a little likes and hearts there. And I have been kind of absent for about a week now. Just things have been super, super busy at the clinic. And my wife and I have been working on some courses to help improve communication and things like that. Not between us. We're actually doing fantastic, but we are constantly striving to be better in our life. We want you to be better in your life and have a better life. And it's so much better living a life when you can actually get a good night's sleep and wake well rested. So that's why I came to you and did this tonight. Last week, again, I woke up at 3:30, and just your mind starts to go, oh my God, it starts freaking out. What if this happens again? I can't go to sleep. My next day is going to be miserable. It can really impact your work life and your family. So handle your sleeping. I hope you found this helpful. I have my little graphic here, my my guy here, my Insomnia guy here. That was me. I think it was last Tuesday. So I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time. If there's anything we do to help you out, just holler at us, and we will see you next time. Take care.